morning. Welcome to Philly with Jon Marks on PHLY. As always, brought to you by Parks. The Eagles. The line's down to 2 points. I told you. Get it now. If you're betting the Eagles on Sunday and you know you're betting the Eagles, get it at 2.5. It's down to 2. It'll be down to 1.5 by kickoff. So if you're betting the Eagles, I would go to Bet Parks right now, and I would get it at 2 before it goes down even more. Jon Marks with you this morning. JP and the way to be. He's with me as well. But a special guest for the show today. He'll sit in all show long. He is a former colleague of mine on the radio, but then he became too big of a star, and now he's on CBS 3. Mr. Pat Gallen. What's up, Pat?
What's up, Johnny? How are you, my friend?
So you look like you are on TV. I don't.
Do you think so? You can't see the bags under my eyes? It's a little bit early this morning.
Look at the bags. Me. Look at the bags under my eyes. These aren't bags. This is just me being close to 50.
Yeah.
That's right. Happens, I need a facelift. I need some work done.
Stop
anyway,
it.
Yeah, but like
marvelous.
Look how you fold, like you cross your legs. I sometimes sit like this, or like I'm awkward sitting here. So I'm trying to figure everything out still.
Like the on-camera portion of it?
Yes. You're a seasoned professional, and normally I don't have somebody here with me. So even now today, I have to be adjusting because normally I look at that camera, which I can't do today.
Yeah, a little different today.
A little bit different.
Am I throwing you off today? Is that what I'm doing?
No, it's just good experience. It's good experience. You whined to me that you wanted to come on the show. You're like,
I had you
twice.
On my show twice.
And
then I didn't get a call, and I started to wonder why that was.
Well, you got to ask me. I didn't.
Yeah, because you don't. Your head's everywhere.
My head is. I'm a mess. I'm a total mess. And yeah, like you said, hey, I'm like, yeah, come in Thursday. That's fine. Yeah.
But then absolutely. I realized that like there's a trickle down effect. So I've got to make sure it's good with CBS. I got to make sure it's good with the wife. Get the kids.
Everybody.
Out to school.
It's got to be situated.
Thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all the same.
It throws everybody off.
Yeah. No one cares about my plate, but that's okay.
No, I certainly don't.
You know,
it's probably why I didn't ask you, because I don't care about it. All right, so real fast, we'll get to the headlines coming up here a little bit early today, because we know the Sixers lost last night, the Flyers lost as well. Bill Matz, Broad Street Hockey, is going to join us at 8:25, because not a great start to the season for the Flyers, obviously. But I had to start with this, and you talk about bags under your eyes. Mm-hmm. All right, let me get my.
What is
so
this?
these are Kidz Bop's microphones.
Yeah.
Let me see if maybe we can actually get the effect, JP. Well,
you want to do karaoke at 8 o'clock in the morning? Oh. All
right.
Because I will if I have to.
Well, you can hold this just for now. So I didn't get to bed till like 11:30 last night, and I'm up by 4:15 at the latest.
Come on, you gotta get that sleep.
Sixers were playing, Flyers were playing. And then I was just kind of like messing around doing stuff. And I'm like, wow, it's 11 o'clock. I should go up and shower and go to bed. So 2 o'clock, I get my wife's like shaking me. Like, Jon, wake up, Jacob. What is that? Did you hear that? I didn't hear it. I'm asleep. I didn't hear anything. What are you talking about?
I hear you.
We're the kids. And I'm like, yeah, we still have monitors on all the kids. And I'm like, they're in their room. Go check. So I get up and I go check on them or whatever. Like, they're sleeping. They're fine.
I think I know where this is going.
What are you talking about, right? And then you hear this sound.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I did hear it. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
So now I'm like standing at the top of the steps. And I'm like, what is it? And my wife's like,
strange man playing with our toys.
Right. Like, my wife's like freaking out. I'm like, it is kind of creepy. You hear it again. I'm like, it's one of the dolls or something downstairs, which has happened before. JP, when you have kids, which I'm sure you're not far along, but like, things like this happen. You get the doll that's buried at the bottom of this bin that gets activated by something, and it's talking to you in the middle of the night, right? So this damn Kidz Bop microphone
is what went off?
It was saying low battery.
Oh, my God.
And it was the pink one. Low battery. Low battery.
Doesn't even work. Oh, yes.
Right. So, and in 2:30 in the morning, I didn't know how to turn it off. So I just go bury it in the living room under blankets so I can't hear it. But so it almost sounds like Chucky, if you remember Child's Play.
Yes. Every kid's toy sounds like Chucky when the batteries start to go.
And Chucky's terrifying.
Our living room is filled with just garbage, just junk everywhere, stuff that makes... And these things, by the way, have gotten so much louder. I don't know if they're doing... Is that purposely done?
Probably.
I think so.
I hate all the kids' toys.
I thought we were going to do some karaoke this morning.
Well, we can do that later if you'd like, with or without the Kidz Bop mic. But that's what I was. So that's at like 2 o'clock, and then she's freaking out.
Yeah.
And then like, I'm like, I got to be up in like an hour. So I don't really go
Throws
back
off
to
the
bed.
sleep
I'm
schedule by
done.
then.
So then
Yeah,
I'm
you're
totally
toast.
done. Because then I end up falling asleep for like 30 minutes, and then the alarm goes off, and I feel even worse.
You and
which is
I are
to
the
stay
same
up.
in that my wife hears every little noise in the house. I hear you could land a jet next to me, and I'm not waking up, but she hears everything. And so, yeah, we've gone through the same thing.
Yeah.
4-year-old and 1-year-old, it's all just toys and making
Every night.
noise
It's
every day. Yeah.
It's a mess. So that's how that was my alarm clock this morning, was the Kidz Bop microphone.
Oh, at 2 a.m.
I didn't even know Kidz Bop was still a thing.
You know what, JP? I was at a Kidz Bop concert 2 years ago.
What? They're that
in
big
Camden. Yeah.
Really?
In Camden, yes. I documented it. I talked about it on the radio, heading down, and I went to the Kidz Bop concert. I saw so many dads who were like, I heard you talking about the concert
Yeah.
tonight. Like, so many dads. It's like, so you're listening.
Everyone miserable in the same.
Everybody's
Yeah.
everybody's drinking the biggest seltzer or beer that they can have. And I was horrified because I thought I was getting live entertainment. It was all lip syncing.
Yeah.
So if I would have said, Alexa, play Kidz Bop, that's what I got.
Yep.
There was all lip syncing. So you have these child stars that are up there lip syncing, and then in between songs they try to do these little skits, and half the time their mics aren't. See, did you hear it?
Yeah.
Low battery.
That low battery? I thought I turned it off.
No, you didn't. Maybe it was mine. And between the songs they try to do these skits, but then whoever's running the board doesn't
They don't
have
do
their
it.
mics up. So you catch them like 3 seconds into the skit. It
Yep.
was so bad.
Yeah.
But the kids loved it.
Of course, they don't care. They're not paying attention to that.
So Flyers and 7 in the comment section goes, Kidz Bop over Cars for Kids.
KARS, Cars for Kids.
Cars for Kids. Yeah.
I like to, honestly, there's some Kidz Bop songs that I prefer over the original artist. I know the role. If you ask Alexa to play Kidz Bop, I know the order that the songs are in because I've heard it so many times.
Luckily,
It's
we
great.
haven't gone down that road yet with Kidz Bop.
Kidz Bop
Maybe
Kids,
that's
man.
coming soon. I hope not.
Oh, it's coming.
I'll make my kids listen to classical music. And
Oh God, you're such a booze. You really are. You really. He'll be in
Beethoven.
London for Oasis.
Mozart.
You'll be
Yeah, we
full-
are. They are.
I
We're
know.
going. We're all going. I can't wait. They're not going to the concert though, but
That'll be an amazing concert.
I can't wait.
All right. Well, there you go. Pat Gallen, who once upon a time did radio with me, and then he got his big break at CBS 3. And I remember it was during a big snowstorm, and I was buried at home. And Pat was at every Wawa in the Delaware Valley on top of the snow bank.
You remember well. You have a good
Reporting.
memory.
And that's how you got your break with CBS 3, right? I mean, for the most part, you were working
For
there.
the most part, I was working there. I was doing sports. I started in almost 10 years, like July of 2015. Started doing sports there, freelance, and then they made me do. See, there it goes again.
It was this one. That's what I heard in the middle of it. Go ahead.
They made me do snow coverage. We had a big snowstorm one morning, and I was out there like on a marathon, 12-hour snowstorm.
I remember it
coverage.
well.
And then they decided they wanted me to do the morning show, and so for 4 years I did the morning show. Woke up early like you. I was up at like 3 a.m. every day, 4 years.
All the hard hitting you're doing. Yeah, you're doing yoga.
Yoga, roller coasters, lifting
I
weights.
used to watch it.
It was
every
crazy.
morning.
It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. I mean, we did some cool stuff, but
Now you're a
back
big
in
sports reporter.
sports
With
full-time.
Don and Alicia, you guys do a great job
Yeah,
over there on
thank you, buddy.
CBS 3.
I appreciate that. Yeah, but I actually kind of miss like the sports talk vibe because we work in like
How many
3
minutes do you get?
We work in like 3-minute segments per hour. I luckily they gave me my own show plug called Gallen of Questions, which is a half-hour interview type show each week, which
great.
I can do a little bit more there. But if you're talking news programs, yeah, you're doing like 2 to 3 minutes at a time, and that's it.
It's not a lot.
Can't get a lot in there in 2 to 3 minutes.
You cannot. That's
Do
true.
I miss doing 5 hours on a Sunday morning? Matt
No,
Martucci
no.
and I? No, I don't. But it's, you can get more off your chest sometimes in that way rather than these 2 to 3 minute intervals.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
You're
you,
doing
buddy.
great.
It's been almost 10 years. Crazy.
Well, let's get to headlines. Sponsored by Glatt Hair Restoration. Bald is now optional if you want to improve how you look and how you feel about yourself. Glatt Hair has the right treatment for you. Regain your confidence. Visit glatthairmctr.com or call them. You can speak to their hair team right now. 610-980-4000. And by the way, keep up to date with everything Philly sports and beyond. PHLY Daily, delivered directly to your mailbox every morning. And this isn't some wimpy newsletter that Pat Gallen would probably have for you. No, this is real. Rich Hoffman Jr., he's putting in some real time, rolling up the sleeves, giving you everything you need to know if you're a Philly sports fan and beyond. And it's free. I look at it every morning. All PHLY.com to get that. All right, 76ers lose to the Bucks 124-109. No Joel Embiid, no Paul George. Problem. Yeah, Tyrese Maxey had 25, but he needed 31 shots to get it. 10 for 31 from the field. Kelly Oubre, 21 points. Damian Lillard led Milwaukee with 30. Giannis, 25 and 14, 7 assists. Sixers lose. I mean, with George and Embiid out.
Yeah.
I mean,
saw it coming.
Yeah, like what's the expectation for that? They could come out. Maxey's going to miss 21 shots. You're not winning that game.
That was like an old AI line, 10 for 31.
First thing I thought.
Is exactly Allen Iverson-esque. Yeah, but come on. Without those two guys and Giannis and Dame and, you know, who was hitting threes last night? Taurean Prince hit a bunch of threes in the first half.
Yeah, early.
Yeah, forget it. I thought they'd keep it close, but no way they were going to be able to. That's a heavy lift in week one.
And it wasn't close. It was comfortably. They're not winning this
football.
game.
Game one.
Right. Yeah. All right. So the big news, though, earlier in the day, Shams reported the NBA is likely to begin an investigation later this week into the 76ers surrounding the player participation of Embiid. In other words, are they holding him out? The league doesn't want them holding players out for obvious reasons. And I thought it was really off. I don't think this is a load management thing. To me, there's something wrong with Embiid. The knee didn't respond how they wanted to. He's not ready to play. I don't think this was the master plan of the 76ers because they look bad and they sound silly. And we'll play Nick Nurse coming up here in a second. But to me, like, they can investigate all they want unless they're investigating that the Sixers aren't sharing information that they should, Pat. I mean, I just thought it was weird they're going to investigate it for what seems like they're investigating to see if the Sixers are holding them out, which they shouldn't do.
Yeah, there's some sort of disconnect between Embiid to the team to the media to everyone else. It's hard to get a true read on where we are, but I know this. There were a lot of unhappy people there last night. I was talking to some people in the arena, and they're like, you know, and this is nothing new, right? Like, we put up good money, and to find out, 24, 36 hours before the game that he's not going to play, they feel taken a little bit by that. And I can completely understand that. If they had been a little bit more forthright from the beginning, this doesn't happen. If you're in front with, hey, this is what the plan is. You don't have to give us a detailed list of what the plan is.
Just be honest with everybody.
Just be honest with the people, and I think that they can understand we're on a 55-game plan. We're on a 60-game plan for Joel Embiid. This is what it looks like. Where the disconnect is between the team and us and the fans, that's a little murky.
But one of the reasons why the NBA is saying they're doing an investigation is because, like you had said, if you spent $200 a ticket. I mean, the 76ers tickets are almost like Eagles tickets.
If you're getting lower bowl tickets for opening night, you're paying $3, $4. What could it be? Yeah,
parking, food, beer. You're looking at $1,000. If you're taking your family, forget about it. Like, a lot of money. So I understand, and the NBA understands too. The last thing you want are fans saying, you know what, I'm not going to buy tickets because I don't know if Embiid is going to play. So really, your best bet is to kind of be like, he's probably going to play in this game
for sure.
Which is worst case scenario for the NBA. It kind of is what it is. With that being said, I didn't think that was what was going on with Embiid. Now, the Sixers responded. An official said yesterday that Embiid is, quote, responding well to his individualized plan and is expected to ramp up his return to play activities this week. According to the official, Embiid will not play this week, but is set to be reevaluated this weekend. Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah.
His knee, he's not ready to play.
Reevaluated, he's not ready to play.
Right, he's not ready to play. And by the way, like you had said it, Pat, like, not that we would like it, but you have to be understanding. This is the first. I don't even pay attention to the Sixers normally in October.
Right.
They're still playing, hopefully, in May and June. So to worry, like, if Embiid's not ready to play, he's not ready to play. I'm okay with that. If Paul George is injured, you're not going to put him out there because you need to put him out there opening night.
But you can also understand, we saw with our own eyes Paul George get hurt.
We had no idea
know what's going on with Joel Embiid. No. They keep saying he's not hurt. It's part of the plan. But to me, if you're not going to give us what the plan is, we're always going to believe something happened behind.
Well, of
behind the
course,
scenes.
and that's not fair to Embiid.
No, it's
because
not.
now we have to guess.
Right.
What did he get fat after the Olympics? Did it happen in the Olympics? So here's Nick Nurse after the game, and he's being asked about what's going on with Joel Embiid. Here's Nick Nurse.
Playing in these first 3 games is part of the plan, not because he's still dealing with that injury or re-injured himself during the Olympics.
The plan is why he's not playing. Yes, he did not re-injure himself. But the plan is we don't feel like he's quite ready, strong enough, light enough, whatever it is that they've determined that he's not quite ready to go, hasn't been in any full court scrimmages, etc. And that's the plan.
Playing in these first.
Yeah, he repeated the ramping up stuff,
plan,
and I
yeah.
couldn't really hear what he said, but I heard it earlier. Yeah, he just repeated he's not injured, the ramping up stuff or whatever. There has to be a one specific incident or not.
Right.
Like you had said earlier, midway through training camp, he's not scrimmaging, he's not playing. It's like obviously there was something going on, but they keep denying that this is anything out of the ordinary.
What bothers me the most about all this is the fact that we and the fans really can never have like what's the longest stretch of normalcy that we have had with this franchise? It's
none.
And they know it. The Sixers are not
Which is
dumb.
why they act like
know
this.
it.
Which is why they act like this.
But they don't. Again, I don't know where the disconnect is here. Is it Joel telling them that this is how he wants them to handle it? Is Daryl Morey saying, take my guidance, this is how we're going to do it? That's where all of this is sort of in this grayish area. But yeah, like honesty is always the best policy, and it just doesn't feel like there's honesty happening right now. Could be wrong. We'll see what happens. Maybe he comes back next week and he's fine.
Or
but
maybe
this is
he's
not
out.
normal. This is not like you don't normally ramp up to the second week of the season unless something happens. That's the ramp up.
That's what I'm saying. There has to be a starting point from this.
Or if the Olympics were like 4 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago,
and
you
he
could understand
got started
it.
late,
He's
which
got to
was
start
not the
late.
case.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
It's just so stupid. All right, so check out the PHLY Sixers guys. They did a post game last night. So for all their analysis and everything, check them
Those
out.
guys.
They're awesome.
They are.
All right, Flyers lose their 6th straight, fell to the Caps 6-3. So they were behind 4-0 in the second period. They made it interesting. Scored 3 straight, including a Michkov goal.
Yes.
To make it 4-3 with 6:36 left in the game. But the Caps added not 1, but 2 empty netters.
Very rare 2 empty netter night.
They went to the empty net early, which surprised me a little bit. But yes, 2 empty netters. Flyers now 1-5-1 on the season, back on the ice. The 1 p.m. game on Saturday down at the Wells Fargo Center against the Wild. Bill Matz is going to join us here at 8:25, about 7 minutes from now from Broad Street Hockey to talk about it. Entertaining third period. All that I asked, this is the first time I've been entertained by the Flyers this year. They've been god-awful.
Yeah.
And you actually had
It's a hard watch.
some goal. Oh, man, impossible watch. Michkov, first 7 games as a pro, 3 goals and 4 assists. Dude's 19.
You'll take that.
He's good.
He is good. I do wonder, and like Bill will be able to talk more about the depth of this, but like the talent level is just not commensurate with a team that's going to make the playoffs. I think we all knew that. But if you can get what you get from Michkov on a nightly basis for 82 games,
I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah, I need that.
I need a little more Jet Lichenko though. A big Jet Lichenko fan.
Look at you, hockey guy. So here's what I'll try to go back to Andy Reid 1999 Eagles. They were not good to start the season.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, when you looked at their record, it wasn't great, but I felt really good about the team at the end of the year.
Yeah, remember it well.
You felt like you had something. If they're not going to make the playoffs this year, they're not going to make the playoffs this year. At the end of the year, I need to be interested, and I need to be like, damn, I can't wait for next year to start. Like, you're already craving that next year. And I hope they get there. You just wonder if Tortorella is going to be there to get there. How many games did they give him? We'll talk about all that with Bill coming up here at 8:25, because he's got a bunch of young players and he doesn't have a lot of patience with players.
I get what you're saying about like it's a tough like corollary between the NFL and NHL, because you can go, well, we have a quarterback now and we have like pieces on defense. In the NHL, a guy can be no good for like 3 years and then all of a sudden you flip a switch and he's a different player. So I think as long as Michkov is who he is, Konechny is always going to be probably their second best player now with Michkov in the fold. as long as you have a few of those pieces, I mean, really right now, it's all you can ask for because I don't think that there's much. Is there much in the pipeline? I don't. Bill will talk more about that.
Yeah, we don't.
I'm not a
need
pipeline
to talk
guy right now.
I don't need to talk about minor league hockey. Pat. I'm getting there. I'm actually talking about hockey.
You are.
It's a big step.
I was surprised when you said that you wanted to talk hockey.
Listen,
In all of the years we've known each other, I don't think we've ever.
No, I've never because they haven't been good. They've had the
It's
stretches.
been a long time.
Well, especially growing up for myself, dude, the Flyers were consistently good. It was like what the Sixers are now. Sixers were like the back seat to the Flyers, especially like in the 2000s.
Are you a primo? Is that like your first Flyers team that you love? The primo.
No, more like Jeff Carter, Mike Richards. I came on later on.
So in that 05 to 2012 era,
it was a decent run.
Yeah, it was a decent run.
Drew was a really good player.
But they couldn't get to the. The final.
I hated Carter and Richards. Two dopes. Absolutely hated them. They were
We'll talk
real
hockey if
POSs.
it's about stuff like this.
Right.
You're talking about
at least
Sea Isle.
I would see him down in Sea Isle and be like, "Oh, those
man.
guys are never going to be successful. Two idiots."
It was a rough go.
And then they win a cup in LA.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do.
Those guys.
All right, we got a lot more stuff we'll get to, but Bill Matz is coming up here in just 1 second. But listen, talk about Central City Toyota for a second. All right? Like Pat Gallen, he's a big city guy.
Yeah.
Well, Central City Toyota's in the heart of University City. So check this out, Pat. I know that you probably need to get your oil changed at some point or whatever. Largest service and parts dealership in the city of Philadelphia. And my Uncle Jamie is the general manager of Central City Toyota. So if you're working in the city, drop your car off to get it serviced. They'll drive you to your office. You can pick it up. You get the shuttle back when you're done working. They also provide a pickup and delivery service on an appointment basis. And I did this when I worked at WIP. They would come get my car and they would service it. They would drop it back off. Boom. How about that? If you're looking to upgrade your ride, Central City Toyota, an amazing selection of certified vehicles. They even have cars under $12,000. So if you're on a budget, but you need a ride, there's no pricing games, one price approach. Everything's transparent because they're looking for repeat customers because they know if they get you as a customer, you're going to come back and you're going to come back and you're going to come back. So, CentralCityToyota.com in the heart of University City, 55 years on Chestnut Street. How about that? CentralCityToyota.com. And Uncle Jamie's going to be by later in the show for his college football locks of the week. That's at the end of the show. So,
Uncle Jamie.
Uncle Jamie, he's got locks. He's sizzling this week. All right, speaking of locks, let's talk about BetParks app. All right, Eagles +2. How about that? I told you the line was going down. Don't wait. It's going to go down more. World Series starts on Friday. Dodgers are favored in the series. Slight favorites, -125. Yankees +105. World Series MVP. Pat Gallen, if you were picking a World Series MVP, for a $100 bet, Ohtani +200. Judge +410. Soto +500. Look at the star power in this series, man. Mookie Betts +750. Giancarlo Stanton +800. Garrett Cole +3,000, I think, is worth a sprinkle. He's going to get the game one start. If he wins his 2 starts, he could easily be the World Series MVP.
Technically, I'm not allowed to give betting advice, but some star power in this.
Big time star power.
I love this. And will say this. You got to root for the Dodgers. Nobody wants the Yankees here to win.
I'm rooting for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I'm also, I'm not a Yankee hater. Judge,
I'm not a Yankee hater either.
A 6'8" friggin' center fielder that hits 50 home runs.
That's amazing.
The fact that he's an above average defender in center field at 6'8" is unbelievable.
He and Stanton are like what Canseco and McGuire wanted to be back in the day.
Stanton, I said this yesterday, he looks like he just grabs a tree out of the yard. He's so big, man.
Yeah, unreal.
76ers +300, or excuse me, +400 to win the Eastern Conference. That's out there. BetParks is the only online casino and sportsbook that I would ever recommend. New users right now, download the BetParks online casino app and sportsbook. Get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. And like Pat, total degenerate, he goes down big time on the BetParks app.
This is not true.
Not true. But if you do go down, you'll get your money back. But you gotta wager it, all that money back they give to you. BetParks.com for all the details. You must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, Ohio, or Michigan. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, Pat. Flyers, and like, I'm a total Fugazi Stu-Nod when it comes to the Flyers, and I'll be the first person to admit it. I'm a Zamboner. I am as casual a hockey fan as possible.
Sure.
But I'm excited this year. And part of the reason I'm excited was Broad Street Hockey. Charlie O'Connor, Bill Matz, what they were doing in the offseason after Michkov, leading up to Michkov, and then the preseason and the community they've built was really exciting. So I'm like, you know what? I'm excited. And that's why, is Bill ready to go there? No, he's still not connected. He might be sleeping.
Come on, Bill.
He was up late.
Ah, yes.
Did you send him the link? Because I didn't send him the link. All right. Well, I mean, so this team, without knowing a lot of the intimate details of their minor leagues and things like that.
We're not going down that road.
But just the overall, when the Sixers entered the process, and we had 3 years of dreck. You know, they won 47 games in 3 years. They won 47 games last year. Mm-hmm. So to ask 76ers fans, and it really bothers me with how the 76ers treat their fans with the lack of communication. We went through years of watching a team lose on purpose because we realized what the goal was in the end. It wasn't because ownership was cheap. They were trying to build a champion. And they hadn't been successful doing that, but like they took a shot. You got Embiid, you got Ben Simmons. It just didn't work out. And I feel the same way about the Flyers and Flyers fans right now, is that finally, after a long time of just being a bad team, there's light. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and I can feel the Flyers fans that are excited about this whole process.
There's a clear, I think, vision, at least, for what the future should be. And you can thank Danny Briere and Keith Jones, I think, for that, for finally saying, look, no more of this 8th seed hoping to get into the playoffs like the pre-process Sixers were. So I am totally on board with that. It's going to take a lot, though. You need to hit big on star power in the NHL. I mean, you see these top teams around the league, Colorado, Edmonton, Florida. They go 3 lines deep of guys that can change a game, that all know their roles well. You got your star guys at the top. You know, your second and third liners might not be the highest paid guys, but they have a clear-cut role. Flyers aren't even close to that yet, but you've got to hit on the draft picks. You got to take big swings. They did that with Michkov. It looks like it's going to pay off eventually. Jet Lachenko maybe pays off in the end. That was sort of a big swing right there. No, I don't. I just like the name.
Lachenko, you like the name?
I just like the name. I think that he should put Jet on the back of his jersey.
Oh, wow.
Going
soccer out there.
Yeah, exactly. How cool would that be? That jersey would sell out. Don't put Lachenko back there. J-E-T-T.
Doesn't he have to prove he can play before you put a name like that?
Probably.
Or he's so confident that he can play that he doesn't give a damn.
But that might put a bullseye on his back. All those.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. We would have to wait until Torts leaves for us to get something like that. A young player with his first name on the back of jersey, Torts would have an aneurysm.
So that's my I guess my burning question is, it appears that the front office and Tortorella are on the same page. You know, like,
sure.
Because a lot of times what happens is you get disconnect with the coach in the front office, and then it's like, all right, well, if we're not on the same team here and we're not working together and the team stinks, we're not giving you the benefit of the doubt. You're gone. Because you look at the slow start, and I mean, you see it often where, I mean, what's his name? Tortorella didn't, or not Tortorella. Let's play with some jam here. Let's go. Laviolette. He barely, what did he last, like 3 games into the season and they whacked him?
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
not the case with Tortorella.
No.
But this is not a good start to the season.
Yeah, but what are you hoping for exactly? Just
to be entertained.
Better games and entertain? You were entertained last night?
Last night I was entertained for the first time ever.
Then. That's fine.
Yes. I tuned in Saturday night. I was talking the Flyers up to my girls. And they're like, we've pretty much never watched the Flyers. My oldest, Gianna, her first grade teacher was a big Flyers fan, like the typical big Flyers fan.
Sure.
And she's like, well, how come we don't watch the Flyers? And I'm like, So I'm talking them up, like, there's a game tonight. It's the home opener. They're like, yeah, Flyers.
Oh, that's nice.
And we put it on for 10 minutes. They're already back to playing with dolls or whatever. And
Will
I'm
they
like,
watch
this
other
sucks.
sports with you?
They like baseball and football.
All right, that's good.
They like the Sixers. No, they like sports.
Good.
So I'm like, Flyers. And it's like, this sucks. So I put college football back on. Every time I tried this year, they've been bad. Every single time.
Yeah, what are
now,
we,
last
7
night,
games in?
Yeah, last night it was a good third period. So it's good.
It's going to be a tough watch, I think, for a
So-
lot of the
so
year.
you
gotta have
believe
some
that?
patience. What's that?
So you think it's not going to be 'cause,
This
like,
year? I mean,
I had
a
heard-
hockey
I had
team
heard
can
possible-
click at All-Star break happens. The team clicks and they go on a run of, they win 9 out of 11, and it changes what you think of the team. But they're at a talent deficit right now. I think they're just trying to sift through that and figure things out. Goalie, I think, is an issue.
Oh, for sure.
It's a big issue.
Well, that
if
backup
you don't
guy,
have that, then you have basically nothing.
Yeah.
the
Fedotov
7'8" guy,
is
JP was talking about him yesterday. The guy that's 7'8" sucks.
Yeah.
He's so big, but it looks like he's 2 foot out there. when he's in
Fedotov.
goal.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously his size helps, and the first time he got on the ice, like you could definitely tell, like it's gonna be hard to get a puck past him. But the problem is, if you get him moving, that's where he struggles because the dude has literally no athletic ability.
It's a tough pill to swallow for the people out there who are like, mildly hockey fans that always wonder, why can't you just throw like a sumo wrestler
The
in
fat
the net?
guy.
The fat guy. Well, it's not working. You got this 6'8" guy who's like 250 pounds and he can't.
He's
Yeah,
NHL
that's
players,
normally
man.
my hockey conversation. No,
I knew it. I knew it.
But yeah, why can't you just throw a really big fat guy
Yeah,
that blocks the
exactly.
whole net? Well, all right, why not? Why can't you?
There you go.
Well, the bigger problem right now, I mean, it's goaltending. Yes, I mean, like we got to figure out the backup situation. But Sam Harrison's been pretty good. Problem is defense. I mean, the defense again last night was absolutely terrible. I think the only defender who wasn't in the minus yesterday was Travis Sanheim, but everyone else -2, -1. And Igor Zamula, I was watching that first goal, and he just does some boneheaded
Not
decisions.
going well
man.
for him.
No, not at all. And so that's been the big problem so far this year. Yes, they can't. At some point, the goals have to fall. Like they're putting shots, but they're just not getting in the net. But the defense is something that is completely alarming because last year they were a solid defense, and that's how they were creating a lot of goal opportunities. But this year, it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, you can't get hockey knowledge like that from me. No, I'll just tell you. That's why.
Look, I grew up
John,
a
I
huge
got
hockey
you.
fan.
Got you.
It's tough. It's tough these days.
Why? I mean, I was a huge Legion of Doom fan. I watched a ton of Flyers in the 90s.
Those are fun teams, man.
They were awesome. Great personalities or whatever. All right, well, so I worried about, truth be told, I texted Bill. I'm like, yo, if the Flyers lose, I want you on the show tomorrow. If they win, we don't need you. And he's like, okay. And Bill's the kind of guy, he does post game and he's probably up all night.
Yeah.
So he
watching
probably
late
didn't go
night
to bed
hockey.
till 4 a.m. and then whatever. So, but I think the clock has run out on
All right, later, Bill.
on the window for Bill because we got other stuff we got to get to.
Do you think we talked 10 minutes straight of hockey today?
It's the most hockey I've spoken since they went to the finals.
I'll get it out of John.
And that was always the great thing was and I never would do this, but nobody on sports radio would talk about, except like Glenn and some other people would talk about it. But for the most part, nobody talks hockey. And then they get to the playoffs and it's like, oh, well, I guess we have to do hockey shows.
Right.
No, you don't.
We still don't.
Yeah, I don't know how to talk about it. We can have fun with it.
And
then
not breaking down.
the third line, I'm
Yeah.
not breaking down the checking line. I'm sorry. I can't do it. No, I'm out. So just so you know, but Flyers fans appreciate me because I'm being transparent. Like the Sixers should be transparent, right? This is what I'm giving you. By the end of the season, I'm going to know more than you about hockey anyway. So just get ready. Don't let me get hot on the Flyers, everybody.
I tried to get deeper into hockey when analytics became a big thing with like expected goals and all that. And I tried reading Charlie's stuff. I'm like, you need to be a math major for this. I can't even.
Charlie O'Connor.
Yeah.
They do.
It's unbelievable.
They do such a great job.
It's over
Yeah.
my- I'm
Well,
not
the
smart
current
enough for it.
Carolina Hurricanes GM used to write for
Eric
Broad Street
Tulsky,
Hockey
Yeah.
back in
Didn't
the
know that.
day.
You know
Seriously?
that?
Yeah, dude.
Worked
Sick.
for Broad Street Hockey, Eric Tulsky.
No way.
Yeah, man.
So Charlie O'Connor, because Bill's not going to be the general manager of any team. Maybe Charlie will be.
Phil would be in charge of like stadium entertainment.
Wait, no, he could be the Jonesy.
Yeah, you go. Oh my
He's got a
God.
little
We're
Jonesy in him.
oversight, yeah.
Charlie
right?
and Bill running the team. I'm in.
All right, let's do this. And by the way, Elliot Short Parks is tweeting about hockey last night, which is we don't.
Oh,
no,
no.
we're maybe we need to take a step back.
I think so. ESP.
We don't need
He's trying to broaden his horizons. Isn't
Yeah,
he?
it's funny when he tweets about soccer too.
Oh,
He is a big soccer guy.
He's a
He's a
soccer
soccer
He's a
guy.
big soccer guy.
No,
Give him that.
but guys like JP's very serious about his soccer, so he
yeah.
looks it.
Look at my hat.
By the way,
I see it.
Elliot Shore Parks also going over the pond for an Oasis show with his wife. He's going to Wales.
Of
though.
course he is.
I'm going to London. He's going to Wales.
Nice.
Nice shout out for him.
Good job. All right, so let's do this here because we actually had too much stuff to talk about that we probably weren't going to be able to. Are you? Do you follow Penn State? Can you get ready to the James Franklin thing ready to go there?
Yeah,
JP?
let's get that going.
Are you a Penn Stater? They have Wisconsin this week.
Yeah, I wear my Penn State jersey every weekend.
So you went to Westchester. So yeah, but Matt Lombardo went to Westchester, and you think that he owns Penn State, our former colleague at the Fanatic. It's completely annoying.
Yeah. I actually went to Penn State. True story. Went to Penn State for 3 semesters to the Abington campus before transferring to Westchester.
You didn't go to Ogons though, which is what they called it when I was in high school.
Yeah, they just changed it to Abington when I
was just in Westchester this weekend. It's beautiful there.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Bucolic.
Great campus.
Yeah, Westchester's nice.
Love the campus. Love the school. Great people there. So I grew up obviously a Penn State fan. Went there. Decided to switch schools. But yeah, I've not necessarily an allegiance, but I try to keep up with them. Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much watch every game just because they're like even if I'm rooting against them in most of the games. So there was a story came out on Tuesday. 2 former Penn State football players are facing rape and assault charges following an incident with 2 female victims, and this was back in July, so it's really not that far away. Kevion Keys and Jamil Lyons were charged on Tuesday after university police conducted interviews, obtained evidence, including a short video documenting an incident. Charges stem from the incident July 7th, 2024, where the victims reportedly provided alcohol at an off-campus gathering, and later the suspects residents in Nittany apartments. They're accused of sexually assaulting the teenage victim, while the second victim was intoxicated, passed out, and was assaulted by another one. So at the time, they were placed on interim suspension, according to a team spokesman, to deal with a personal matter, roughly a month before the start of the season. And then neither player was at the team's first fall practice that was open to the media. And then after that, they were just gone from the team without any explanation at all. So the story comes out. They had said nothing about any of this. The story comes out. They have a spokesman read a statement, and then this is yesterday. So the spokesman reads a statement, and then James Franklin comes out, and this is how it looked and sounded.
Guys, how we doing?
Good. This is obviously a serious and sensitive subject. I know Greg read that, but we haven't heard anything from you on this.
John, we released the university statement. All right, do I need to read the statement again?
If you would like.
All right.
So that's the spokesman. So he
Regarding
says
the 2
release a
former
statement.
Penn State football players, we released the statement yesterday. Our program and athletic department will have no further comment. If you need the statement, please reach out to me or Chris.
Here comes Franklin again, drinking water.
Hey guys, any questions?
James, at what point in the summer were you aware that these guys were not going to be on?
Oh, he leaves again.
Again, guys.
Again, guys, all right, you can
University
stop
already
it.
released a statement.
Again, guys, we're Penn State. You don't get to ask us questions.
Yeah,
like
that's not how it works.
I'm not telling you that James Franklin should say anything about this because he can't. It's an ongoing investigation. So you say that.
Just say.
You don't
those
walk
words.
away like a
that
dick.
Makes it look worse.
I mean, he's such a dick, and he does this all the time. You like go back, leave, and drink water, and then come back out with this arrogant look on your face and this arrogant attitude. Listen, you're the head football coach of Penn State. You come out and you say, listen, guys, I know you have a job to do. I know you have a lot of questions. I understand that. I can't comment on it. It's an ongoing investigation. The statement was put up by the university. That's all I can do. They'll follow up and try to ask another question because that's their job. And you say the exact same thing. You don't have to act like that. It's unnecessary. And I hate James Franklin for that. I hate him. He acts like this all the time.
Yeah,
like, don't question me. I'm the Penn State head coach.
Yeah, he's got to. All you have to say is no comment, right? And
I can't say anything, guys.
I can't say anything, and it goes away. You just can't tell the media what they can or cannot ask. It's never going to go well for you, and it makes it look 10 times worse there.
They look terrible. He runs away and he drinks his water and then he comes back. All right, guys, any questions? And then he does the same thing. Yeah. He's such a baby.
I'm honestly baffled. That was an insane way to handle that situation. Holy crap.
Again, taking
it's a major
away
college
too,
program
from a really great season they're having on the field. Most talent they've had in how long? And this, of course, is going to overshadow it. That's going to get played on a loop. People are going to see that and they're going to go, oh, here we go again.
Yep. Yeah, he got asked last year about Drew Lar and the fact that they don't throw downfield, and he goes, "I don't understand the question. Like, this is the Japanese you're asking me." It was the guy. It it was a longtime reporter that actually questioned Penn State during the Sandusky thing. He was doing radio up there at the time, Corey something. And
yeah, I remember that.
And
Corey Sharp?
Something with an S, yeah. And he was like, oh, I don't understand the question. You do understand the question. They're asking why you don't throw the ball downfield. It's talked about. Like, you do understand the question. You just got to be a jerk about it. So anyway, I hate him. I do. I hate James Franklin.
Hot this morning.
Oh, I can't stand him. He does it like last week. He was complaining about they don't have a runway. They have to take an hour. They have to take an hour bus ride to Harrisburg.
I saw that
because they won't have a longer runway in State College. Would you shut up?
Wow.
I mean, there's
First
some
world
truth.
problems.
There is, but you don't whine about it.
Yeah, whining about that, I think, publicly.
Like, yeah, all right, work behind the scenes. Try to get them done.
Right.
Or drive a friggin' hour on a bus to take a plane. I mean, Jesus. God, I hate it. So much. All right.
Do you meditate after the show? Like, we get the
on
the
76 driving home.
Yeah, that's the place you need to meditate on the way home.
JP's worked with me now. I don't normally get mad. I mean, sometimes I do.
Sometimes he gets fired up.
I thought this was going to be like a nice, relaxing, get together, old friends.
You never know with
all
me.
Jacked up.
You never know with me. Anything's possible.
Pat. Where's this going?
Well, listen, I wanted to make you uncomfortable a couple times today, and I've succeeded on that.
Perfect.
So whatever. All right. So Uncle Jamie's college football locks of the week are coming up in a little bit. But first, man, we got to talk with our guy, JP. What's up,
Let's
JP?
talk, brother. Let's talk real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Rite Aid, our friends over at Rite Aid, because listen, we all know it's getting, you feel it outside. It's getting to winter time. It's getting cold. So obviously we're going to get to flu season, right? So we have a lot of good sports going on. John just talked about World Series and start tomorrow. We obviously have NFL season, NHL, NBA. So you don't want to miss any of this action. So making sure that we're getting our vaccines and making sure we're avoiding the flu, COVID-19, all that good stuff here. Obviously, look, this upcoming weekend, full transparency, I'm going to have a bunch of friends over. I have a bunch of parties coming up. We have the Hansberry cookie party coming up too. Those are situations where we can get sick. So we want to make sure we are staying prepared, especially with our friends over at Rite Aid. They're always keeping us nice and healthy. And we appreciate them with their convenience here. So all you got to do, ladies and gentlemen, right now, just walk into your local Rite Aid or schedule a vaccine at riteaid.com. State age and health restrictions do apply, so do keep that in mind. Ask your Rite Aid pharmacist for more details. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't miss any of our favorite sporting activities. Make sure you're staying nice and secure with our friends over at Rite Aid.
Oh, yeah, you having a COVID release party? You going to cook up some COVID for everybody this weekend?
So I bring up the Hansberries because they're my Irish family, right? But every time they have a big get together in the wintertime, at least 2 people get sick at these things.
Yeah.
So I always bring them up. I love them. Love you guys.
A lot of there's COVID
sick,
going
man.
around. You just don't know it because nobody tests for it.
Right.
But anyway. All right, let's talk about Ace Hardware. Pat, you're handy, right? You're a handy guy around the house. You can do stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
Us media guys aren't normally mechanically
hands.
inclined or
They're
whatever.
so soft.
Look at his hair. I mean, that's all you really need to know. He's
Exactly.
got the TV hair. Well, listen, I'm probably even worse off than Pat, right? I'm pathetic. I'll be honest with you. That's why you need the good people at Ace Hardware Home Services. If you have something going on in your house, whether it's heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and you need somebody you can trust, acehardwarehomeservices.com. They got somebody for you, right? You got an air conditioning issue. Well, you wouldn't have that right now, but a heating issue, right? Leaky faucet, whatever it is, Ace Hardware Home Services, plumbing, heating, cooling, trusted pros to keep your home humming all year long. Free estimates on equipment installation. Replacement with trusted advisors and options that are best suited for your home and budget. You got something going on after hours on the weekends? The heater goes on a Saturday during winter. What do? You're not waiting until Monday. You're going to go to Ace Hardware Home Services. Emergency services are available. Service you can trust, satisfaction guaranteed. They'll make it right no matter what. So check them out, Ace Hardware Home Services, to get your project started today.
Can Ace Hardware fix Joel Embiid's body?
They cannot. I do not believe that is be something that could happen.
Are you really not handy at all?
No.
Not even a little bit.
Liz is. My wife is.
Neither am I, honestly.
JP, no?
And it's funny because my dad is a construction worker, my father-in-law, construction worker, and this guy, yeah.
My dad from, he's, I mean, how many years now? Geez, 60 years or not quite that many, 50 years. Yeah, he's a contractor.
Yeah.
So he builds houses.
Same. My dad, not anymore. He's retired, but he literally, when I was a kid, we had a Buick LeSabre, and the transmission blew. And instead of sending it to,
buying a new car, which is what we would do,
he rebuilt the transmission in the driveway.
What?
Over he got the big, the lift, did it himself every night after work, came home, rebuilt it. Took him about 3 or 4 weeks. I got none of that.
So it's generational, right?
It's generational.
No YouTube with that too, Pat, huh?
Yeah, I missed it. Totally missed me.
JP, YouTube is the first place I go because there's some things that you try. Like, I had a lawnmower that I was trying to freaking not have to buy a new lawnmower, and it's the carburetor's dirty. And it's like, this is beyond my pay grade. I can't.
Yucky.
Yeah, once you take
greasy.
apart like the whole thing, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna have to go buy a new mower.
I'm not as bad as you. I can do some stuff around the house, but
like what? Give me an example.
You can hammer now.
What did we just? Yeah,
I can hang. I can
Easy
hang. I can hang a picture.
I just changed.
I can't do blinds though.
I just changed the faucet on our kitchen sink.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. I remember you did that.
You would think, though. It took a long time getting my 6-foot frame underneath the sink.
I would never even try. I have no shot.
I nailed it too.
What's what I'm saying? Like that, I saw you do that, so I'm like, at least you're not giving yourself enough credit. You're handy.
I would not say handy.
All right, I wouldn't either, but you're
Mildly, moderately. Yeah,
you're handier than me. All right, so let's do so last night, the eyes of the world were on Delco, Aston, Pennsylvania. When you think the epicenter of the election,
it's Delco.
Well, I mean, and we don't do political talk, and I'm not going to on the show, but like Delaware County literally could decide the state of Pennsylvania when it comes to
decide the entire presidency.
It could decide the country. Think about that.
Delco Bucks, yeah, it's possible.
So it's a CNN town hall. I didn't watch any of this, but I saw that it was posted a bunch of times tonight. This is actually on the Eagles Nation Twitter account?
Yeah.
So
bring it up here.
They hand the microphone to some yutz that's there to ask.
I didn't see this, but you
Kamala Harris a question. The vice president was there last night for a town hall. So they hand the microphone to some, I think he's a Temple University kid. Here's how it sounded.
He's a student at Temple University, registered Democrat, leaning towards voting for you, has yet to make up his final decision. Elkin.
Hi. First of all, go Birds, and hi I'm from Danville, California.
That's all I need.
Hi, but my question.
That's all I need. He's from
Go
California.
Birds, and he's from California, which is
why is he saying go Birds?
He gives a go Birds.
Did he come to Temple because he was a California Eagles fan?
Questions. Maybe his parents.
Maybe
Eagles fans.
Maybe. Go Birds to the vice president. Your thoughts?
Went to Temple from Danville,
He's going
California.
to Temple. He's a Temple student. Yes.
Good for him. I like that.
What?
Hey,
Why
now
would
everybody
you
knows
do
who he
that?
is.
Yeah, for
Dropping
sure.
Go Birds in front of Kamala. Yeah.
Go Birds. There you go.
Good work.
Delaware County.
Got to represent if you're an Eagles fan.
Do you guys ever ask that? Like, if you meet someone from like the West Coast, you ask them like, "What are you doing here? Why are you over
Why
here?
would you come to Temple?
Well, like you have such great weather over there. Great
You know what?
vibes.
I worked with a guy. My first job was at the NBA, and I worked with a guy who was from Orange County, California. Came east, went to school. I think he went to Fairleigh Dickinson. And he went to one of those schools that was like in the hill, like the hills,
like 2 hours from here,
where their lockers are like outdoors. It's 75 degrees and beautiful every day. I'm like, why are you here? He's like, well, think about it. You see the same thing every single day. He's like, I didn't see seasons growing up. He's like, I wanted to experience that, so he came east, and he's like, I love it. So now he's back. He's back west after about 10 years.
Yeah. No,
but I think he enjoyed his time east for a while.
But there's something about like different living, right?
Yeah.
Like I lived in Hawaii. I've spent time on the West Coast. I love it. I couldn't live in Hawaii. It's like, so my buddy from New York, he was living in San Diego, Los Angeles. He does finance, and he got this job back in New York City, promotion, more money, and all this other stuff. So he's like, he loved California. He moved back. He was at his new job for a week. He quit and moved back to California. He's like, what am I doing? Like, I'm miserable here. He used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, walk to work in San Diego. He loved his job. He loved the vibe. He loved the pace. And he's never been back. My man Schneid out there, he's a Giant fan.
Good for him.
Also worth mentioning, we had a Union fan in the city.
Oh, yeah, so the Union fan. That's another one. There you go.
Look at that. Represent.
Look at that.
About that.
The Union.
Delco, baby.
Poor Union, 6 years in a row to the playoffs. They snapped it this year.
Yeah, I know.
You're probably upset about
my friends down there. And I am upset about that because they had an opportunity in 2022 on the doorstep of a title.
Made the finals, right?
Made the finals. lost in heartbreaking fashion, and then just did not capitalize on it. And they had an opportunity and they didn't do it. And now here we are. No playoffs. I know you're a big soccer guy, though.
I am. I mean, I would be if I had time. I like the Union. I just, I need to.
John, you have 2 years. We got 2
I
years.
like going to games. The
World
problem is the game times aren't conducive to young kids going to games. They don't have afternoon games. They have mostly night games during the week.
That is
Because
true.
believe me, I've looked to take them down
Wednesday
to games.
7:30.
Yeah,
start time is
yeah.
helping.
I'm
You
not.
can thank
I'm not.
Apple for that one, John.
I'm not
Apple,
doing it.
yeah.
As my kids get older, right?
If there's like a 4:00 Saturday game, I would
I'm going.
absolutely
It's the best.
love to go.
Day games.
Yeah, it's tough,
at
though.
They don't
Super
have
Park.
many of
They
them.
don't have them.
Not at
Well,
home.
because now that's why I said Apple TV, because Apple TV controls the scheduling. So pretty much it's like 3 time slots. It's like there's one day game on Saturday, everything else is on Saturday night, and then there's one on
Well,
Sunday.
screw Apple TV. How about that?
I'd have to agree.
Is Uncle Jamie on the line?
I do not see Uncle Jamie. I think
Uncle
he rang
Jamie.
in.
He says
and then
he's in the lobby. So can you take him out of the lobby and put him
Is
in?
Bill still in the lobby too? Or
I think
do
Bill's
not
in the
see
bed.
it. Tell him to try to call back in because I don't see anyone in my lobby here.
All right, so let's see.
If not, I could resend you the
Come on,
link.
Uncle Jamie.
In the lobby, can you try? This is live.
Live.
This is how we
Live
do it
show
live.
This is the
now.
process, guys.
Wow.
Can you try to call back in? There we go. So Uncle Jamie, people may ask, well, why the hell do I care that your Uncle Jamie has college football locks? I'm telling
He's
you.
a madman, right? With the
He
we
watches
go.
more college football than anybody I know. And he's been giving me these picks for years where he's just like, I like this, like that, like this. So
nails
it's like,
it too.
nails it.
Yeah,
So we get
it's
on the
awesome.
show and I'm like, and Central City Toyota, he's GM, so he's sponsoring. I'm like, dude, let's do a college football lock of the week. So that's why he is on there right now, welcoming the general manager of Central City Toyota, Uncle Jamie's college football locks, brought to you by Central City Toyota. Jamie Haverly joins Jon Marks and Pat Gallen here this morning on Philly with Jon Marks on PHLY. Uncle Jamie.
Good morning. Good morning. Pat Gallen, you were lucky to be here today to get my college picks.
I
You're a
feel lucky
man.
to be here. Already lucky being next to my buddy John, but now
Very true.
we got the lock of the week. Wow.
All right. Well, Uncle Jamie, we have some really good games actually this week. So let's get right into it. Number 1, Oregon. They're a big favorite at home, hosting 20th ranked Illinois. I'm seeing a line of 21 and a half. Huh?
That's a big line.
21 and a half. Yeah.
21 and a half, 3+ touchdowns. So what
Yeah.
does that say? Well, odds makers are telling you that Illinois is a false prophet. So they lost a running back. Quarterback, good quarterback this year, Luke Altmaier, 66% percentage completion. I think they come in, and I think Illinois covers. I think Oregon wins the game, but this is a classic game where Illinois will come in, play well, won't win, but I think they'll cover that 21 and a half spread.
And they keep it close. All right. Illinois plus 21 and a half against number 1 Oregon. All right. We were looking forward to the Texas game last week. Texas did not deliver. This was your big lock last week that you got.
Yeah.
It was ugly. I got Arch Manning in the game, which is what I was looking for once it started to get ugly. That didn't last very long. And Georgia came back a little bit in the second half. And then, Jamie, what I learned about the game last week was if you don't like a call, just throw trash on the field and college football referees will overturn the call, which was unbelievable.
I've never seen in the SEC anything like that, where you have trash being strewn onto the field. They reversed the call. Kirby Smart, I thought his head came off his shoulder. I've never seen anything like that. That guy just lost it. You know, Texas has been interesting this year. You know, they're going into Nashville, playing Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is everyone's darling now.
Yep.
I think Texas gets well this week. They're coming in as a big favorite, 18.5, but I think they get well this week. I think Quinn Ewers is tired of hearing about the Arch Manning stuff. I think Isaiah Bond plays well. They got a big running game. I think this is the week that Vandy comes back to earth and Texas romps. Take Texas on the points.
If he's tired of hearing about Arch Manning now, you better just transfer.
You better go to the pros,
just go to the
brother.
pros.
Go to the pros next year.
I love this pick because you're right. Everybody's Vandy. Meanwhile, Texas is going to be mad going in there. Texas still has a ton more talent than Vandy does. Yeah. I agree with you. I think this is a blowout.
Yeah, I agree.
Alabama, God, they looked terrible last week to Tennessee because Tennessee's not very good either, by the way. But that was kind of like a slog. Alabama goes down. Now they're hosting number 21 Missouri. So you have 16 against 21. I actually didn't write. What's the number on this line? I actually didn't.
16 and a half.
16 and a half. Wow.
16 and a half, Alabama favorite at home. Once again, the line makers are telling you something here. So the running back's out. Hunt is out. Cook came out of the game for Missouri. Cook came out of the game last week, hurt, came back in. This is another game where this is a game like Texas where Alabama gets well. They are killing Alabama down in Tuscaloosa, killing them. I entertained myself and watched the Paul Feinbaum show just to hear the Alabama callers call in, bemoaning the fact that the dynasty is dead, almost in tears. This is the week where Kalen DeBoer, Jalen Milroe, they put it together. The Ryan Williams, that kid is a star. 18 years old, that kid is a star.
Unreal.
This is the week that Alabama gets well. Missouri, 6-1. It's not a good 6-1. They haven't looked well. They just got by Auburn last week. Auburn's 2-5, terrible team this year.
Yep.
Look for Alabama to romp. Three touchdown game.
Yeah, I like that one as well. All right, and we have a bonus game. Normally Jamie does 3, but he wants a bonus. He's too many games that he likes.
Wow.
Let's send it down to College Station, Texas. Number 14, Texas A&M, they've been better than a lot of people expected this year. 2.5-point home favorites over number 8 LSU. I feel like you're going Texas A&M in this game, Uncle Jamie.
You are wrong. I love LSU. LSU is my team. Always has been. Love LSU. This is the year for Brian Kelly. Whatever it is, it's going to coalesce this year for him. Alabama's not the best. Texas is up and down. Georgia, this is the year for LSU. Ever since Joe Burrow, you finally tie the knot. Every time Texas A&M gets favored in a big game at home at Kyle Field, 106,000 people I got to hear about, they look terrible. I guarantee LSU comes in and wins this game. Take LSU.
Wow.
He's actually right about that. CBS, we used to have SEC on our air every week.
The Saturday afternoon.
Every big Texas A&M game, man. They were a huge, huge letdown. Back to Kevin Sumlin days. It didn't matter who they were playing if they were a favorite.
Sumlin was on the road to be an NFL head coach, and then that totally fell off. And then they crashed, and then Jimbo Fisher was a disaster. So
he's right.
$2.5 million buyout. Can you believe that's what Jimbo got to not coach at Texas A&M anymore? I mean, just think about that. How much money?
Well, I mean, it serves him right. They hired Steve Adazio, that crook from former Temple head coach. He went down there and was the offensive line coach, and they sucked. So I'm glad that they burned.
You're on one today.
I hate Adazio. I hate him. I hate Adazio. Pencil in his ear. He's a glorified gym teacher. He should literally, every night he should be saying prayers that he's made as much money as he has because he's a freaking gym teacher. Give him a whistle and a pencil and he can chew on the pencil. I hate Steve Adazio.
I think John's having flashbacks to high school. You didn't bring your shoes, Marks.
It's been a rough morning, Uncle Jamie. He's all fired up today.
That's what happens when you get awoken by Kidz Bop at 2 o'clock in the morning. Go see my Uncle Jamie and his amazing staff. Largest services parts dealership in Philadelphia. Pat lives in South Philly. I told him he's got to bring the car over to Central City Toyota, the heart of University City. Get her done.
Or even better, John, we'll come down and pick up Pat's car, service it, clean it,
about that.
and bring it back to Pat Gallen. Right to his house.
I was already talking about that with him. He's up at CBS 3. You could very easily go. Shout out to the diehards, by the way, out there. Thank you to the diehards. I was already saying it to him. Like, just go up, like CBS 3. Go grab it from the lot.
That's a beautiful
Go drop
thing.
it off.
Love it.
CentralCityToyota.com, 55 years on Chestnut Street. A ton of inventory right now. Upgrade your ride. And remember, ask for Uncle Jamie. And if his picks are wrong, demand free oil changes.
Exactly.
That's what we'll do. All right, Uncle Jamie. Good luck. We'll talk next week.
See you next week.
There he is, Uncle Jamie. So I don't like the Oregon pick.
No,
I like Oregon. I would stay away from the game. That's a big line for a reason.
That is a big line.
But it's also like it also could be a look ahead. I don't know who Oregon has next week, but that could be like, yeah, we're great. We don't need this. We'll beat them or whatever.
I'm still trying to wrap my head completely around all this conference realignment and trying to put these teams in these different
Let me say
plays
this.
where?
It's like the hardest thing in the world.
JP, I loved because the Big Ten sucked before. You had Ohio State, you had Michigan. Penn State's Fugazi. We know what they are. They're never beating those good teams. But so then you have Indiana and Illinois. You have the Beth Mowins game on Saturday afternoon on ESPN2, where you have Iowa and Indiana. Indiana's actually good this year, but you know what I mean. You have these terrible offensive Big Ten gluts.
Yes.
Right? But USC and Oregon, it brings a totally different dimension. Even if USC isn't very good, which they're not, it's still USC. So Penn State going for a Big Ten game in Southern California is awesome.
I agree. You're more likely to tune into a game that's got Oregon, Illinois than Illinois, Purdue.
Right.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Purdue, watching Iowa and their offense with no quarterback play.
Iowa, Purdue, 9-4 in the third quarter.
All right, my only pushback will be is takes away from the rivalries. Rivalries is what makes college football awesome. I know,
like what?
Okay, I get it. Maybe Washington State is not going to appeal because obviously Washington's not always great.
You're not really losing the biggest rivalries,
but they're not stopping. They should still play, right?
I mean, they could theoretically they could, but will they?
They're still playing for the
Apple
Brown
Cup.
Jug and the
Apple Cup. Isn't that Washington State?
When they took away the backyard brawl away from us, I love that one. That one was so much fun to watch.
I worked the backyard brawl.
I love that rivalry.
2000. It was Shady's last year in college.
Wow.
Remember Pat Kaneen, who used to work with us as an engineer at the Fanatic?
I see him sometimes.
So he still does. He'll do radio games, national radio games. They fly him all over. So he took me out for the backyard brawl, which is West Virginia and Pitt, the day after Thanksgiving, the Friday after Thanksgiving. And it was a long, long time rivalry. And they had to stop when I guess West Virginia went to the Big 12. Was that when they stopped it? So they had it already this year, but it's Penn State and Pitt used to be which they had to stop when Penn State went to the Big 10. So I mean, I agree. You don't want to stop the rivalries, but ultimately, do we really care?
I also was a big Big East guy growing up.
Basketball?
No, football. When we had Rutgers was good, Louisville was good, West Virginia was good.
Big East basketball, awesome. I never looked at Big East football.
We had South Florida and UConn at number 2 at one point in the season. Dude, that was fun years, man.
Spine.
Is Beth Mowins still doing games? So, yeah. I haven't heard her. See, I know she used to do games on CBS. I don't know if she's still doing that.
She's still doing games, I think,
Yeah. Robbie Anderson running down the sideline. Sam Darnold. Touchdown, Jets.
That's how he always is every day.
No, that's why I need the stimulus from you. She did a Monday Night Football game. You can Google it.
I remember it, yeah.
I'd be fired today if I did the same radio show the day after that game. They would fire me on the air. And they told me that afterwards. You can't do that.
My boss is going to text me and be like, I thought you were talking about sports today. You're on Rip It, everyone. Who is this guy?
But Beth Mowins is good. But doing an NFL Monday Night Football game, I'm not sure if is really where she should be.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold running down the sideline. Touchdown, Robbie Anderson. And she's from Syracuse, New York. She's not from Wichita.
How do you know all this about her?
Because I obsessed with it over after she did the game. It's she's from Syracuse. Why does she talk like that? Anyway, Pat, thank you.
You gotta get more sleep, dude.
This was fun.
What happens when he doesn't sleep, Pat?
Not gonna happen.
Sleep enough. It's all about sleep hygiene.
Not gonna happen.
It said he's playing karaoke Kidz Bop over there.
Singing karaoke at 2:30 in the morning.
Can we play Kidz Bop on the way out here?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm sure you.
And I didn't hear enough of this stuff at home.
I didn't even share enough. I think it's dead. I didn't even share all the details because it wasn't just isolated to Kidz Bop, and then it was then we were hearing other houses, noises in the house and stuff. So
that's fun.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, everybody that is out there that you watch live on YouTube every morning at 8:00 and you're chatting it up with us and you're watching, we appreciate it. We appreciate the support. Philly with Jon Marks, 8 to 9 a.m. live every day on PHLY. So subscribe. Do you subscribe on YouTube, or you smash the subscribe button?
I'm not a smash subscribe guy. No.
You hit the like button on
smash
things?
the like button and subscribe.
Like sometimes.
Okay,
depends on what it is.
All right, comment.
For you, I'll give a like.
Right. That's how you make people the algorithm. Then they can't get rid of you.
Just do the millennial stuff. Like, subscribe.
Right.
Share it to your friends.
All of it.
Share it to the group chat.
The podcast is actually I got to talk to you about the podcast.
Okay.
But the podcast is every day. So if you want the audio version of the show, Pat Gallen,
I like that.
Wherever you find, well, I don't know where you get your podcast. I go to Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Philly with Jon Marks.
Love it.
But only do it if you give 5-star. But we have 7 current ratings, all 5-star.
Come on, guys.
Wow.
So
looking up.
Takes 2 seconds.
Look it up.
Rate.
JP, great job, man. We're back
Appreciate it,
tomorrow. We'll do locks. We'll talk about whatever the hell else we're going to talk about. We really haven't even talked about the Eagles this week after the game on Sunday.
Did we talk about the Eagles for 1 second?
No.
On this show?
Nope.
Made me talk about the Flyers for 15 minutes.
Is that a good formula?
I demand
This is a hockey town.
All right, let's do another hour. Pat Gallen with us here. We're going to talk a little Eagles. Everybody, have a great one. Switch over to Anthony. He's live right now on PHLY YouTube. We're back tomorrow at 8 a.m. live. See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.